Hey,
Hey, I have never been so excited for a live before, and I think this is one of the lives I'm like super excited about.
stop it. You're
No, I'm actually
joking.
serious. I'm not
Do you
saying
say
it
that
to
to
anybody
everybody? I'm
else.
gonna check your other lives.
Yeah, you can actually check all the lives. I've actually not said that to anybody. How are you? How are you doing?
Good, good. How are you?
Not too bad. So Toronto da haal kidda ya? Like what's
Me
going
pੈ
on?
ਰਿਹਾ you brought you know ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਗਿਆ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ UK ਵਾਲਿਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ started raining. It's like literally UK weather right now.
Oh, okay. It's sunny down here. ਸਾਡੇ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵਾਲਾ ਹਾਲ
So
ਆ.
ਆਪਾਂ switch ਕਰ ਲਿਆ ਹਨਾ?
Yeah, we've switched. How
Okay,
was the
okay.
lockdown and everything for you?
Lockdown, good. I think it was good. I think as an artist, look at pata we always just running around. They like never at home. The pelli wari thode like I guess it was like you had to stay at home and I had to get used to staying at home because I think for the last 5 years, every month I was traveling, going somewhere. Nah, hana. Like you're only home for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then I got used to staying at home. I started making a lot more music. Doing different things that I never really did before.
Fateh, man, you've been in the game for like, what, like 11, 12, 13 years now?
Oh, okay. Well, no, I would say I've been in the game for like 5, 6.
Yeah.
But I've been making music for, like that long.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, like, that's being in the game. You're one of the only sardaar rapper. I'm actually going to start from there. I kind of want to know what was kind of, because it's very different. Both ਔਖਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਰਦਾਰ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ expectations ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ, certain things they can't do, certain things they can do, and we completely understand that, you know. ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪਣੇ emotions ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ. For you, being a rapper and setting a different kind of example, still following your religion, not getting rid of that, and then doing what you like. Was it hard? What was it like?
It was hard. ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਔਖਾ ਸੀਗਾ because ਜੇ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਜਾਵੇ like I would say 8 ਸਾਲ 9 ਸਾਲ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਰੈਪ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਰੈਪ ਤਾਂ ਹੈ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗਾ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਮਿਊਜ਼ਿਕ 'ਚ ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਾਲੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ right ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਛੋਟੀ ਲਾ ਲਓ or like even I remember ਸੁਖਸ਼ਿੰਦਰ ਸ਼ਿੰਦਾ ਕੈਲੀਫੋਰਨੀਆ ਤੋਂ ਕਾਲੇ ਲੈਂਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ to get in the videos amazing ਹਨਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਹੈ so it's good ਤੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤਾ ਲੋਕੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੂੰ ਕਾਲਾ ਬਣਦਾ ਤੂੰ ਤੂੰ ਆਪਣਾ ਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਸਮਝਦਾ like ਸਿੰਘ ਏਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੰਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ all that stuff so ਏਦਾਂ ਦੇ hurdles ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਮਿਲੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ right but it's not even like India ਤੋਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਦੇ ਲੋਕ ਦੇ ਵੀ like Canada America ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਦੇ ਜੰਪ ਪਾਰ ਸੀਗੇ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਾਲਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਹੈ or ਜਾਂ ਇਹ I guess ਅੰਗਰੇਜ਼ਾਂ ਦਾ ਕੰਮ whatever ਤੇ ਤੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ so ਉਹਦੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਉਹ hurdles ਸੀਗੇ ਫਿਰ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਜਦੋਂ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਮਿਊਜ਼ਿਕ ਚ ਜਦੋਂ when I beat those hurdles finally ਹਨਾ ਲੋਕੀ ਥੋੜੇ accept ਕਰਨ ਲੱਗ ਪਏ ਫਿਰ ਜ਼ੂਸ ਨਾਲ ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਮਿਊਜ਼ਿਕ ਚ ਆਇਆ ਫਿਰ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹਰਡਲ ਸੀਗੇ ਕਿ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੁਣ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਸਰਦਾਰ ਹੈਗੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਰੈਪ ਕਰਦੇ ਨਾਲੇ ਗਾਉਂਦੇ ਵੀ ਆ ਪਰ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ ਜ਼ੂਸ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਫਤਿਹ ਨੂੰ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਾਉਣਾ ਥੋੜੇ ਉਹ ਲੁੱਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀ ਵਧੀਆ ਜਾਂ like ਦਾੜੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੰਗੀ ਲੱਗਦੀ ਏਦਾਂ ਹਨਾ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਲਾਈਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਇਹ ਸਟਾਈਲ ਨਹੀਂਗਾ ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਵੀ ਦੇਖ ਲਓ ਮੇਰੇ ਪੁਰਾਣੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਗੀਤ ਆਏ ਸੀਗੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਜ਼ੂਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸੀਗੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ I would say 80% ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵੀਡੀਓਜ਼ ਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗਾ ਮੈਂ ਤੇ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਜਦੋਂ ਇੰਚ ਹਿੱਟ ਹੋਇਆ ਤੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਦੋਂ I guess prove ਕਰਤਾ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ this is good ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ then everybody wanted me in the video
yeah I mean did it ever put you off ਜਦੋਂ ਕਦੇ ਏਦਾਂ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ you know what like this is our religion and ਪੰਜਾਬੀਆਂ ਦੀ main ਜਿਹੜੀ religion ਆ it comes from Punjab and it's the religion Sikhi ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਹੀ ਮੋੜੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਸਾਰੇ at the end of the day whatever we're doing is for the culture it's for the religion and it's for proving that ਆਪਾਂ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਆ ਹਨਾ and we can rule the world as well so now ਉਹ ਤੋਂ ਜਦ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਕਲਾਕਾਰ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਮੂੰਹ ਮੋੜਿਆ and they said like oh actually we don't want Fateh in the track was it something a bit like odd for you ਜਦੋਂ ਏਦਾਂ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ
so ਜਦੋਂ ਕਲਾਕਾਰਾਂ ਨੇ ਮੋੜਿਆ ਜ਼ੂਸ ਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡੀ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ he didn't tell me because ਵੱਡਾ ਭਰਾ ਹੈ ਮੇਰਾ so he didn't want me to be hurt he didn't want me to be upset or discouraged and maybe ਮੈਂ ਉਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਤੇ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹਨਾ ਕਿ ਜੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਐਡੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਆਰਟਿਸਟ ਨੇ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਪਾਣਾ ਹਨਾ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਚ discourage ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ so ਉਹਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ he told me ਜਦੋਂ ਸਾਲ 2 ਸਾਲ ਬਾਅਦ he told me ਕਿ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਏਦਾਂ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀਗੀ he's like why do you think you weren't in the videos he's like ਹੁਣ ਤਾਂ they fly you out right ਉਦੋਂ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ they could have so ਉਦੋਂ ਥੋੜੇ luckily I beat that but ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤਾ because I was a lot younger ਤੇ ਜੋ ਰੈਪ ਕਰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਤੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਪੁਸ਼ ਬੈਕ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਰੈਪ ਉਦੋਂ ਥੋੜਾ ਔਖਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਤੇ ਉਦੋਂ ਲਾਈਕ ਹੈਰਾਨਗੀ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਚ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਚ ਕਰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੀ ਹੋਣਾ ਹਨਾ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਚ ਕਰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਸੋ ਕਾਲੇ ਗੋਰੇ ਔਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕੈਨੇਡੀਅਨ ਸੀਗੇ ਉਹ ਲਾਈਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਓ ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ ਸਿਕ ਤੇ ਤੇਰਾ ਇਮੇਜ ਤੇ ਤੂੰ ਰੈਪ ਕਰਦਾ ਆਲ ਦੈਟ ਪਰ ਫਿਰ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੰਗਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਸੋ ਉਹ ਗੱਲ ਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਾਫੀ ਹੈਰਾਨਗੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀਗੀ ਨਾਲ ਪਰੇਸ਼ਾਨੀ ਵੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀਗੀ ਹਨਾ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਲਾਈਕ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਰਾਈਟ ਆਮ ਰਿਪਰੈਜ਼ੈਂਟਿੰਗ ਯੂ ਗਾਇਜ਼ but I guess like when you're the first to do something, there's always going to be pushback. The pushback to baad, then everybody accepts you. ਤੇ ਮੈਂ positive ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਚ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਚ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਪਿਆਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਚੰਗੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਐਕਸੈਪਟ ਕੀਤਾ with open arms ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਉਸ ਗੱਲ ਦੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦੀ ਹਾਂ
ਹੁਣ like when you're in videos and you're producing music and ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ what's it like because bade sardaar rappers are I mean there's a lot that have came up this year as well let alone like पिछले 5 सालों ਚ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਜਾਵੇ ਤਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਆਏ ਨੇ but in this year alone Canada I can see that ਇਸ ਸਾਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ artists ਆਏ ਨੇ what do you feel now have you kind of set an example because you were one of the first ones
what do I feel about like the new Sardaar rapper?
Yeah.
Of course, I like it, man. Like, it's. I was definitely. I'm gonna say I was the first. I don't think there was anybody before me, Hana. I'm glad that I did that for other people. Whether people recognize it or not, that's fine. But I had to go through that for other people to come and open those doors. I was thinking about it actually today. I was driving and I'm like, I can't wait until we have like rap shows, like Punjabi rap shows, where it's like all the artists, like me and all these other artists that are rapping in Punjabi, that are there. I think I sometimes soch ho jandi hai ki nahi kalla main hi kar sakda, but I think the more artists there are, the bigger it'll get, the more support we'll get, the more fans we'll get. Te sare waste vadiya hoga ho.
That's amazing. That's the positive spirit, and I think rather than pulling each other down, we need to support each other, and that's what what we're kind of lacking in as well in the industry or just in the community itself.
Yeah.
In terms of just like parents and what your family's reaction was, but I've never spoken to you before, so I really want to know the stuff that
I feel like we know each other though, like the way we're talking. I feel like we know each other from time.
Well, that's a good thing then. So Janab, in terms of parents and like reaction, see when you told them that you're doing rapping, I'm pretty sure they heard your English music or they saw your English music as well. What was their reaction like? Did they have like a little moment?
Pehla, it was definitely like, because just like you said, like my both dear tak karta aaya, right, when I was very small, so obviously ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮਾਈਕ ਮੁਇਕ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਸਭ ਮੈਂ ਛੋਟਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਤੇ I guess ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ it was always hobby ਰੱਖ ਲਾ ਹਨਾ ਤੇ ਸਾਈਡ ਤੇ ਰੱਖ ਲਾ ਆਪਣਾ ਸਕੂਲ ਖਤਮ ਕਰੀ ਆਪਣਾ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਆ like and I did ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਸਕੂਲ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਗਿਆ ਮੈਂ ਖਤਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਸਾਰਾ ਗ੍ਰੈਜੂਏਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਉਹਦਾ ਉਹ ਕਰੀ ਇੱਕ ਕਰੀਅਰ ਨਿਗਾ ਇਹ ਸਾਈਡ hobby ਰੱਖ ਲਾ but I guess they couldn't see what we see now, right? And even I couldn't see 5 ਸਾਲ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ I couldn't ਜੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ 6-7 ਸਾਲ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਤੂੰ ਬਸ ਹੁਣ ਮਿਊਜ਼ਿਕ ਕਰਨਾ ਤੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਜੀਊਂਗਾ ਤੇ that's going to be your career, I would laugh like ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦਾ right because ਇੱਕ ਤਾਂ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਰੈਪ ਮਿਊਜ਼ਿਕ ਤਾਂ ਹੈ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਮਿਊਜ਼ਿਕ 'ਚ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਰੈਪ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਹਨਾ so to be here is a blessing ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ at that time they couldn't see it but ਜਦੋਂ ਹੁਣ Bollywood 'ਚ ਆਇਆ ਤੇ ਜਦੋਂ like I started doing all the songs with Zeus ਤੇ TV ਤੇ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਹੁਣ cousins ਜਿਹੜਾ 10-15 ਸਾਲ ਕਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਫੋਨ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ and all these ਫਲਾਨਾ ਤੇ ਪਿੰਡ ਵਾਲੇ they really liked it and I think that ਬਾਹਰੋਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪਿਆਰ ਮਿਲਿਆ I think they loved it and then now they're like my biggest fans.
Yeah, that's really nice and I think like family support is always the best thing. I mean हमेशा किया जाता है कि music and entertainment, this creative industry is not a career, but I guess you have a reality check, then you can make it into a career as well.
I want to say something real quick. Somebody said, Monty Sahi said, why doesn't Fateh have solo and only mix jams? I actually do, Monty. I have 3 solo albums. Honi jakati check us on YouTube there, Apple Music, Spotify, or friggin' Mr. Punjab, wherever you go. Mera Bring It Home, To Whom It May Concern, To New Memories. Mere 3 solo albums aaye hoye hai. Canada, America, Australia, everybody really liked it. Maybe the people in Punjab don't know, so I just wanted to let them know. Yeah.
Well,
Sorry, what were you saying?
We've cleared that up. Now let's go to, you've spoken about Dr. Zeus already, and he's also someone very, very different, very unique. How did you actually meet him? Because he's from Canada as well, but he was
Zeus?
He's from the UK.
He's from Wolves, mate.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So he is from the UK, like originally from the UK. So then how did you meet him?
So I was on YouTube early.
Okay.
You know, with Zoo Babies and Just Rain and all these other people, I was on YouTube. They, you know, just like, I guess, at that time, I had to do everything myself. So I had to get a budget for a camera, and, you know, you start shooting. And then I was shooting some videos. They made internet to somehow, a guy from California, he got in touch. Zeus was good with him. I'm originally from California, if you didn't know that.
Yeah.
So he knew me, and then he knew Zeus. And Zeus is like, yeah, good rapper. You know, Zeus is always looking for new artists. I think it's a smart thing for him to always be reinventing. So he's like, koi rapper upar das California to. And then he sent him my video. He asked me, he's like, "Main Zeus nu tera number bhej dua." I'm like, "Bhej de," right? Because when you're starting up in the industry, if there's any new artists in the thing, there's so many people who sell you this big dream. Yo, I can hook you with this, hook you with that. And at that point, man, na fed up ho gaya siga कि किन्ने लोगों ने मेनू dream मैं तेनू मिला दूंगा, मैं स्कूल जाना करा दूंगा, blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah. So he's like, yo, I'm a Dr. Zeus now, and he said it so nonchalant. He was just like, yo, can I give your number to Dr. Zeus? I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, I had no idea if he actually knew him. I was like, sure, my number, right? Then a week or 2 weeks later, Zeus I got a 911 call around this time during the day, and I'm like, +44, sorry. And then I was like, what the hell? And I was like, and it was Zeus. And I was like, what? And I was like freaking out, and I was like, okay, cool. And then he's like, can you get it done? I'm like, yeah, no problem. And he sent it to me. And he was confused. He's like, I'm like, this is how I work. You know what I mean? I've been working. So, it was our first song, Madin Medina, Jue Diyan Haran. It's on YouTube. That was our first song. Like, he just liked my speed because he also works with speed.
Yeah.
He's quick. So he liked that. So he's like, okay, if I send you songs, can you get them done in a day or two? I'm like, of course I can. And we did like 4 projects in a weekend. Like, he would be working on them during the week. He'd send it to me. By Monday, I'd have all my stuff back, 4, 5, 6 songs. And then he would mix it. And then like 2-week turnaround for albums. You know what I mean? We were doing it. So yeah.
Yeah. And now you guys, like, obviously you probably didn't meet, like, first time, or like, because you obviously met through, like, digitally or whatever. And then was it just like, you guys just clicked, and it was just like, okay.
Yeah, we did click. It was me and Just Rain. We came to Birmingham. We stayed in front of Bull Ring. So we were staying right there, and Zeus now, like, video shoots, because we had done so many songs at that time and video shoots remotely. We never met. So when we went to his studio, and it was just like, it was a little bit awkward at first because we've had so much, like, I guess, like, back and forth on the phone. But then it just felt like you just seeing your brother after a long time. Like, it was a little bit awkward, but then it was fine.
Yeah.
And then I ended up staying.
Then you started working a lot with Dr. Zeus. Like, you've done so many tracks. You run some massive tracks with him as well. And like, was it just something that you guys started planning together, that we're going to start doing collaborations, or it just kind of happened?
I think it was more like sara kuch organically hoya. I don't think kuch hoya ke da plan karna kaise humne gaane karne all that stuff. And I think that's the beauty of it. Even Inch, like, it was just like, it just happened. You know what I mean? It just really just happened. He would send me songs. At one point, he was sending me so many songs to do that I stopped asking who it was. So I remember when he sent me Pendu, because the thing was, when you're a new artist, right, and you're getting on all these big songs, I'm not going to lie, I lacked a little bit of confidence when I started, right? Like, yo, I'm working with another girl. Oh my God, that's so, like, you would freak out. And then you wouldn't do the song properly because you're so nervous, right? Like, imagine you doing a big interview and you're a little bit nervous, and you might slip up a little bit.
Well, I freak out all the time.
Huh?
I freak out all the time.
Oh, okay. Well, you get what I mean then. So, so he was sending me so many songs that I had no more time to ask, you know, all that stuff. He was just sending me songs, and I was just like, all right, cool, getting it done. Oh, is this Jazzy beat? Okay, cool, that's what it is. Get it done. Oh, this is Rinda Gill? Oh, that's nice. Get it done. You know, so it was just like, because a lot of times people don't remember, like, some certain songs never come out. Certain songs never, maybe they come out 3 years later, all that kind of stuff. And I didn't know that, so I was just like, just getting it done.
Yeah.
So
then, obviously, the track Inch, Zora, it was one of his, I think it was his first track, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was his first track. And then that was one of his biggest tracks as well. So then how did it kind of come together? Like you said that it kind of happened naturally. But Zora was also new in the industry. So was it just something that came through Zeus, or did it actually come through you as well?
What, the song?
The song, yeah, and the whole project itself.
I think the project, what happened was, like, Zeus and Zora are actually good friends. They've been friends for years and years and years, well beyond my years, right? So, and at that time, like, because I guess Zora was around for so long, he was like, all right, like, let me jump on some stuff too. And Inch happened. Zeus had sent it to me when I was here. I didn't really like the song originally.
Okay.
And I never, because my problem with the song was, like, a self-limiting belief, was I didn't want to rap on, like, Tolki. Like, I thought that was, like, corny a little bit, like, rapping on Tolki. Straight up, right? So I was like, okay, cool. And then he sent me the song, and I kind of didn't do it. I think the only part I had done was Ote Gaddi Mona, that part, like that little part right there. And then I sent it back, and I'm like, I don't know. Then I went to England like a month later. I was in England for something. Maybe I think it was actually it might have been the Britasia Awards 2015. Right. It actually may have been, because no, actually, did we? Yeah, it actually was. It was probably that. So we were there, and you know, we're in the studio, and Zeus was like, shout out Dice is in the building, but Zeus is like, yo, like, can you try something on this? I was like, no, I don't want to do it. He's like, you tu kar ke dekh. So we all wrote, like, they're in the room, and I just wrote a quick verse. I wrote that, and they're like, yeah, record it, and I recorded it. Probably took 3-4 tries, and then that was it. And then, like, I personally never liked the song. I even came back and showed it to my friends. I was like, yeah, look at this song, whatever, right? I don't even know. And then the song went viral before it came out, because it leaked, and it was just, like, crazy. So it ended up being one of the biggest songs.
Yeah. Do you remember the rap to it? Because I remember the rap. Now that
of course.
Yeah, you have to rap for us then.
Okay. Koi kya ke dikhave, ਦੂਰੋਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਬੋਲਦੇ ਮੈਦਾਨ 'ਚ ਨਾ ਆਵੇ, ਲਾਲਨ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਜ਼ੋਰ ਕੋਈ ਰੋਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ, ਮੁੰਡਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਜਾਨ ਕੱਢੇ ਕੋਕਾ ਤੇਰੇ ਨੱਕ ਦਾ, ਰੌਲੀ ਪਾਉਣੀ worldwide ਦਿਨ ਆਉ ਤੇਰੇ ਕਿੰਗ ਦਾ, ਸੂਰਮਿਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਫਿਰਦਾ ਤੇ ਵੇਖ ਸਾਲੇ ਸਿੰਘ ਦਾ, ਜ਼ਮਾਲਾ ਤੇ ਲੰਬੀ ਦਾੜੀ, ਮੇਰੇ ਯਾਰ ਸਾਰੇ ਸ਼ਿਕਾਰੀ, ਪਾਉਣੀ ਮੈਂ ਤੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਯਾਰੀ, 25 ਪਿੰਡਾਂ 'ਚ ਸਰਦਾਰੀ. And then
that was such a good track. I could listen to it as well, because you just remember the track when you hear it.
I was like, I'm trying to remember. I was like, do I mess up? Okay, yeah.
No, that was good. Yeah. And then the track Pindu, that's one of my favorite tracks. That's I must say, it's like an all-time favorite for everybody. Evergreen ja gana hai wo. Jadon marji la lo, and it's just like, okay, it's just a good song. Sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, and I've had, like, you know, people tell me as well, that kei gaane to see rap skip kar dene because we don't like it. That's the kind of track that you will never skip the rap. Because the rap just makes sense, and it's not there as an extra part, you know.
It flows with it. It's part of the song.
Hun bahut gaane aa rahe jina vich rap jadon de pa dinde a, you know, because it became a trend as well at one point that, you know, we need a rap in the track, and then it didn't make sense. That's a really kind of unique track as well. The track with Amrinder Gill, you kind of did mention that Zeus just told you that you're doing a track, and, like, you know, it was that kind of thing, and it happened in the flow. But recently, the little part that you actually rapped went viral as well. It was, like, everywhere on TikTok and stuff. Like, do you remember?
Really? What part?
You know, the whole part with Meri Bully Angrezi or something, like.
Really? I didn't know that.
Oh my god, how do you not know?
See, this is why we need to talk more. Like, I had no idea.
So it was everywhere on TikTok. Okay,
TikTok? I'm not on TikTok like that, so maybe I got to do that more.
Yeah, but I thought people would send it to you.
I don't know too many people that are on TikTok. Maybe you can send it to me.
Yeah, I mean, TikTok's banned in India anyway now, but that's that. So it went viral, but the track is still going on now as well, Hannah. That track, how did it come about, and how did it kind of happen? What was the kind of whole process of the track as well? Working with Amrinder Gill as well.
I actually never talked to Amrinder Gill, but I think what happened was Zeus was working on Amrinder Gill's album, and I believe he just probably sent me the song, and he's like, "Yo, can you do something to this? Can you do something like Desi? Can you do something Punjabi to this?" And the special thing about the Amrinder Gill song was that was the first time I fully rapped in Punjabi, like every line.
Yeah.
Before that, if you look back, it's always English, Punjabi, English, Punjabi, English, Punjabi. And actually, Pendu came before Inch, so, just to get the timelines right. So I was never confident in rapping fully in Punjabi because Punjabi is not my first language. I don't, know the dialects or, the vocabulary, as extensively as somebody who grew up and was speaking it as their first. So I was never really, comfortable with it. And then I was like, I gave myself a little challenge. And Zeus is like, can you do it all in Punjabi? And I was like, okay, I'm going to try to do this all in Punjabi. And that was the first time I did it. And it was all 3 verses. They were all in Punjabi, if you look back. And I was kind of like, I thought he would probably keep 1 verse, maybe. Because because that's another thing I used to do. I should do 3, 4 verses. And then he would keep 1 to whatever he'd like.
Yeah.
And he kept all 3, and that song became that whole how whatever intertwined it was with the rap and the song working synonymously, and yeah, it came out like that, and I was surprised. So yeah. And it was that boosted my confidence to the next level because I'm like, wow, I can rap in Punjabi and people will like it.
Yeah. The whole not being able to speak Punjabi as first language as well. बहुत बार this backlash as well कि बार आप कुछ गलत कह देते हैं even for myself or every person from another country who is actually Punjabi पर उन्होंने Punjabi second language सिखाई जाती है. Your Punjabi is very good, but was that ever a boundary कभी इतना सीगा कि because as you said you weren't really confident either, but you always kind of took it as a challenge as well, you wanted to do it, but कभी ऐसा सीगा कि language दे करके you have left a couple of things कि नहीं मैं रहने देना या or let's just kind of do it in English instead.
Left a couple things, maybe I don't remember, but when I was working with Zeus, I was really in the English thing, so maybe there were certain songs that he wanted me to do Punjabi on and I didn't do it, but after I know for sure after Pendu I really I was like, all right, we could do it, it's easy. Yeah. You've
worked with a lot of UK artists as well. You worked with Jazz for the track Zulfa, another amazing track. Do you just like the UK lot? Is that what it is?
I think what happened was that because I was in the UK a lot, I was back in the day. I used to be there all the time. I know, in London, I know spots, and I know spots in Birmingham. If what was because Zeus is there, so if his base is there, obviously locally on it, right? And we were doing I remember I did some of the melee out there and stuff too, which are massive. It's crazy how big they were. Yeah. But I think because I was there, I met so many artists, right? And then whenever we met, all right, let's do something, and we do it. And me and Jazz ended up having a pretty we're great friends, and he's a great guy, and we have a good relationship. So yeah. I guess just because being out there, I think sometimes that's how artists really click together when they actually meet, and then you click and you don't. So yeah.
What's the scene like in terms of Punjab ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਹੁਣ a lot of the ਜਿਹੜੀ music industry ਆ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਥੋੜਾ UK ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਚੱਲਦੀ ਸੀਗੀ. We had the whole Bhangra thing. I have been saying this quite a lot, but I mean it's not something that I'm saying कि ਇੱਥੋਂ music ਚਲਾ ਗਿਆ. There is still stuff here, but it's kind of moved away to Punjab hardcore. ਵਿੱਚ ਜੇ ਇਦਾਂ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਤੋਂ music ਆਉਂਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ, but create ਇੱਥੇ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ in the UK. So now it's mainly in Punjab, mainstream Punjabi music ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਹਿ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਉੱਥੋਂ. What's it like for artists that are actually based outside of Punjab?
In what sense?
Just creating music, getting in touch, working with newer artists.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know. I think I've always kind of been in my own area. I think me, Propsy, Mickey, we've kind of been here and we've been doing our own thing here. So I would say I've just always been removed from I guess the overall Punjabi industry, and my connection to it is always via a producer. So via either Zeus or via J Static or whoever I work with like that. But other than that, I wouldn't consider myself a Punjabi like artist that goes to Punjab. Like I haven't been to Punjab since we shot Inch, so it's like 5 years old.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like you know what I mean. And I personally don't have a need for it at the moment, but yeah, I don't know, but I think like the internet's just closed, like opened everything, and I can contact anybody that's sitting in Punjab, and we can do stuff over the phone and over the internet. That it ends up working regardless.
Do you have people like Punjab the artists who mainly Punjab de vich chal rahe hain? Because this is a very interesting thing, and I've not really been able to speak about this. But jehda Punjab de vich music chalda hai, not necessarily you see like UK charts or Canada charts or any charts, you see that the music that Punjab de vich chalda hai, it's very different to what is like, you know, you'd listen to Toronto kids will be listening to completely different music. Punjabi music but it's completely different, you know. Even here, like, you know, lads like AP Tillon name munde aaya, and they're very, very popular here, but when you ask someone from Punjab, they're like, we don't know who they are. So is that like is there like two different industries, can we say? Like,
yeah, I mean, like, so I would say like people like Sidhu Moosewala, who is big in Punjab, and he's also equivalently big out here. Same with Karan. So like these guys are like huge everywhere, but I think there is two different industries because like you saw in the comments, like people don't know that I have my own like albums and stuff, right? And there's a big, and I'm well aware that there's a big audience in Punjab specifically that has no idea about Ayat and Jyotiana, Fame, you know what I mean? Like all these songs that are very Punjabi, they're still very, very Punjabi, but because I guess they challenge the taste palette a little bit and they differ from exactly what they know, which is like the same BPM, Gori Marni, this, that, the other, like it's a little bit different from that. Maybe they don't hear it, whatever. Maybe there's, I don't know what why that is, but there is definitely I think it's become like a subgenre of like Punjabi music where we're doing this like North American style of music out here, and it's different. I hope one day, like we're gaining traction on our own out here with like I guess like Baar de Nyane, and I think outside of Punjab, like I have a lot of fans in Delhi, Mumbai, Pune, I don't know, like all these, like I check my Spotify and all these places outside of Punjab, which I have a lot of fans. So I don't know, you know, there is a little bit of a divide, but I think hopefully one day they'll come together.
This divide has, can you say like rukavtan? Yeah, rukavtan is like a very like, you know, formal word, but I'm just saying like sometimes you just want to try something, you want to work with an artist, but क्योंकि उन्हें लगता है कि इतने चलता नहीं है काम, so like, you know, ਅਸੀਂ कोई ना वो पैसे आप करते हैं कोई ना.
Yeah.
Does that happen quite a lot? Or
for me?
Yeah, like for yourself.
I'm sure. I'm not aware of it because, like, again, I'm not trying anymore. Like, cause you gotta look at my kind of career has been like I've done every feature and worked with almost every Punjabi artist, right? Yeah. Like, I know every Punjabi artist for the most part. I've met everybody, know everybody. I kind of like did that to the ground, and it's not like something I want to keep doing. Like I like doing it, and like now I started, like I did the same gesture song. He's a great guy. The song was a great idea. I thought I could bring something to the table. So it's now more meticulous and now more calculated and put together rather than just doing it for whatever it is, right? So yeah, I'm sure there is, but at the same time, I think those who know. You know what I mean? Those who know, who get it, will get it. Like the same gesture, obviously, I'm not like the Fateh that they knew 5 years ago in India, but he gets it. Like he called me, he's like, yo, you're the first sardaar rapper to do it. You know what I mean? You're doing this thing out here. People love it. Like, let's make it happen. And I think that's what it comes down to. Like, I don't want people to work with me just because I'm popping, right? I want them to actually like my craft and my music. And I think that matters more.
Yeah. And like, obviously, I think that's very obvious when you go out and you perform. Because the audience there is like insane. They know every track. They you know, they get your music quite a lot. So what's the whole experience of, you know, jab tusi bahar jana, you even said like you went to Delhi and all that. I'm pretty sure you've performed in India as well. So like
not much, but yeah.
So you have performed a little bit, like sometimes now and then?
No, not much at all. Like probably
you haven't
like
been to India in like since 5 years. So
like, 5 years. So like that's another thing. With like I was walking around freely. No one really knew who I was. And then after Inch and all those songs took off, like, you know, like I was kind of scared to go there a little bit. But I guess I've been everywhere else in the world, and well, I guess your question was how was it like?
Yeah, what's the whole experience of like, performing? Because a singer performing and a rapper performing, they have two different kind of audiences. And I say that personally, like, I don't want to say this, but I'm gonna say it. Okay, rappers just get a bit more love, I can say.
Do you think so? Yeah.
I just feel like people understand them. They just get them a bit more. The fans, they just understand what they're saying. They just don't go for the sake of it. They actually go for the music. So, what's your experience when ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ and you see all these people, rapping to your tracks and just getting your point?
It's amazing, and I think you're right. Like, I think the experience of like a Punjabi singer, I think because they get confined to the instruments they have to play with, and then there's not like Punjabs become very like non-crowd interaction because the first 20 seats are always VIP sitting there like this, and I hated that. That's another reason why I never performed in Punjab, because I'm like, yo, what am I gonna do there? If you look at Roku, like you see how interactive I am with the crowds, like. I need the crowd to give me energy. Like I'll jump in the crowd if I need to. So it's like for me to perform in those, I wouldn't be able to. I would not be able to just perform to somebody who's looking at me like this, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like that's not a vibe. So and that's I guess why I'm different, because I come from a very hip hop background. Like I really come from a hip hop background. And, you know what I mean? Like I grew up on it. I didn't listen to Punjabi music till I was like well into high school. So I watch all my favorite artists perform and I emulate them, and the crowds are always like, it's just one for one, and it's a connection, it's an interaction, it's a show. I've been to almost every rap concert that came to Toronto at one point, like you name it, I've seen them. So it's like that is what I look to do, and I think I think Mickey does that as well. I think Prossy does that. Arjun does that. I do that. I think that's where I guess this subgenre, this is how we perform, and I think that Punjab's trying to do that as well. Like they're trying to do that. But what I was gonna say was, I think like you were saying earlier, like Punjab might not know, and sometimes you get like, oh man, like people don't know outside of Canada and America. I went to Malaysia last year, Kuala Lumpur, and shout out to everybody in Malaysia, and there was about 200 people there. They knew every word of my song that I didn't actually even have to play the song. Yeah. Like there's a video, there's no music playing, and they're just spitting the lyrics to Fame word for word. And I'm like, you know what I mean? So it's like it is growing is what I'm trying to say. And I think that Holly it will become a lot bigger for all of us.
You've mentioned Prophecy, Mickey Singh, and the artists out there in Toronto. What's it like between you guys? Do you guys like call each other up and say like
all the time? I like, me and Prophecy are really, really good friends. We've been friends for a long time, right? Like since childhood and all. I think like in this industry it gets hard, right? You know how it is. It's anything, any kind of work you do, it's still work at the end of the day. It looks glamorous on the outside, but it gets tough. And we tell each other dukh sukh and we celebrate, and he's had a phenomenal year for the last year and a half, and I'm like super happy for him. And we help each other out. And I remember we used to send each other our albums before they came out. Like his last album, he sent it to me like 3 months before. Give me some feedback. I did the same, and I always do the same. So yeah, me and Prophecy are good. Mickey also, I've known him for like when he first blew up, and he took me on some shows and let me open for him before like anybody even knew who I was. And he was always just like a great guy. And we have a good friendship, all of us, and we laugh and we joke and we talk about music and we talk about other stuff. It's fun. It's like an actual thing.
Yeah, I think I see for Arya, I've not actually been there and seen how the industry is like. But ਆਪਾਂ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਇਦਾਂ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵਾਲੇ ਇੱਕ ਦੂਜੇ ਨਾਲ ਲੱਗਦੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ. Like the Toronto side doesn't get along with everybody, or एक individual, he's just doing his own thing. So you guys, the Toronto scene, the Canada scene is a good thing. Like you guys all gel together, I can say.
I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing. And then now, before I even move on to the next couple of things I want to ask, I want you to kind of rap the rap that you did in Pindu, because that was one of my. To be honest, I want to hear Zulfa as well, but.
I don't remember Zulfa. Can I do Pindu at the end, right when we will close off with Pindu?
Can you do Fame?
Whichever one. Choose one, and I'll close off with one of them. Whatever you want.
Same.
Okay, so we'll do it at the end. Is that okay?
Okay, cool. That's
all right,
fine.
perfect. Because then I can hit end right when I'm done.
Right. Okay, that's fine.
Gratan, what's up? I want to say what's up to Gratan, my big brother in here.
Yeah. Okay, so then now like the whole Punjab scene, utte bahut kuch chal raha hai. Who are you listening to at the Punjabi scene? Like, kidna zyada, who do you listen to most?
I don't listen to too much Punjabi music. Don't beat me up. A lot of people get mad at that. I don't. But I do listen to. I've been listening to Karan Aujla. I met Karan Aujla early. Like he was in Vancouver. He was very young. He was just writing at that point. Like his success, to watch him go from what he was before to what he is now is like, it's incredible. And I remember I told him that too when I met him. And I was like, when I saw him recently, and I was like, man, like, it's amazing. So I'm very happy for him. I listen to Karan. I listen to Sidhu Musala. He's great. Like when I met him, or I've done 4 shows with him, and he's just like, he's just so charismatic. Like I get why he's in the place he is now. Like, you know what I mean? And he's very, very confident, and he gives off that confident energy, which is amazing. And so I listen to him. I listen to Mickey. I love Mickey, and I listen to Prophecy. And then there'll be like one-off songs which I'll hear here and there that I like, and I'll listen to those. But other than that, like, I don't really listen to Punjabi music.
Who do you think are like, the newbies, I can say, ਜਿਹੜੇ 2-3 ਸਾਲ ਤੋਂ industry ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਇਆ, who do you think will make it, big? Like, you can
big?
Only name one artist. Don't give me the diplomatic answer where you're gonna say all of them. So
no, if I knew more, then I would say more. Who would make it big? I don't know. I literally don't know. I wish I had more names. Like, I can't even think of names right now.
I mean, I'll give you a couple. Sidhu, this Prem.
Sidhu's already big, though.
No, but like, who do you think will last quite a long time,
I think Sidhu Musala will last a long time.
Yeah.
I think so. I think he's transcended to a level where if he puts out 3 bangers a year, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
And I think he has that. I've heard his catalog, but it's stuff he hasn't even released, and it's amazing. And I think Sidhu and Karan, I mean, they've already been here for 3 years. Most trajectory of a lot of Punjabi artists was they come and then they go. Like, look back before these guys, it was they come and go. And, they've already been here for 3 years, so they've already kind of transcended that part, right?
I mean, it's long. 3 years is kind of like, the peak time for every artist.
Is it really?
I kind of feel like 3 years is the peak time, And then like
I've seen like a year. I've literally seen 1 year. They do like everybody's talking about him. That guy. Ehi mera sab kuch, and then they go freaking tour the world, and then you never hear from them again. It's like shit, So like,
I kind of wish you dropped a name there, but
I can't drop names. I mean, I'm sure they wanted to be long, be around for a lot longer. But it's very easy. Just think about before Sidhu Musika and who were you guys talking about before that?
So in the industry, you're saying that a year is quite a lot to last.
I mean, before, now they're setting a new precedent by lasting a lot longer.
Yeah. In terms of like now, you worked recently with Dr Zeus, great artist. I've met him as well, and the way he just carries himself is just something else. How was working with him, because he's also a very sardaar ne unhone bahut kuch kita hai. If you actually look at what he's doing behind the scene as well, he's doing quite a lot as well, which he doesn't show. But at the same time, he's also in the movie scene. He's doing very respectful tracks as well.
Yep.
What was working with him like?
Britasia, I think, again, just like everybody has the same thing to say about him, what you just said, right? He carries himself very respectfully. He represents sardaars, which is something I've always represent. I know Jagmeet from out here represents that. I know Gratan represents that. Like my whole crew, that's kind of what we are, because we know that coming up as a sardaar or a kid that's distinctly different from other people, whether it's here or Punjab, it's like you face some certain hardships and stuff. And I know my goal was always to look back at the world or give back to the kids and be like, yo, like, be confident in who you are. And, you know, like, sardaars were cool. Jagmeet made it cool. Jasrain made it cool. Grata made it cool. Fateh made it cool, where you don't have to be, I guess, shy or feel less than. You're just equally as powerful. Wadis also made it cool. So for the same, who has the same kind of mission that I've had, I may have not had it overtly, but that's always been conscious of what I wanted to do. For him to have the same mission, and then we came together to do a song to represent sardaars, to not be misogynistic, to not talk about guns and violence, and to not do all that stuff, and still people loved it. I think it goes without saying, it's been incredible. Yeah,
that's a beautiful track, and I must say, like, you know, I just want to congratulate you on that as well, because
thank you.
It was such a nice track. And I remember I was in the studio and Tony played it me, and I was like, you know what, hold on, we need to just give this track a second, because this is something else. And so thanks for actually putting the track out, because it's hard to put stuff like that out. And I think it's very rare, but I must say कि हमेशा कहा जाता है कि guns दे गाने जान, you know, जेड़ा कुछ आजकल चल रहा है वही आ रहा है ते वही चलूगा. But when things like that are put out and it's good stuff, it always works. And I think the artists वधिया काम करदे आ वो appreciate हुंदा ही हुंदा आ. So thanks for the track, I must say.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you for liking it, and thank you to the fans. Everybody that's in here is showing a lot of love. Yeah.
Somebody in the comments wrote a really good question. I think it was Jay Singh, his name was, and he asked, you know, what is the one thing you would change in the industry if you
could? More open-minded. There's two things. I would say more open-mindedness. Yeah. So I think like people fall onto trends and everything just becomes that, and then that trend changes and then I think. And another thing is open-mindedness. So like us in the subgenre, people are more open to it, because I've seen people like, "Nahi achanga niga," but they can't explain why it's not changa. Yeah. They don't even give it a chance. It's kind of like when you keep eating dal roti, that's all you like, and then someone hands you a freaking a sub, and you're like, "What the hell is this? I don't want to eat this." So it's kind of like that. It's like be a little bit more open-minded to different types of music, because we've been running the same structures and same kind of like. I would say like topics on songs for so long that like that's another reason why I can't really listen to too much Punjabi music, because it gets so mundane where we're listening to the same thing over and over again. So I would want more open-mindedness. And another thing I was gonna say was to be more like what I was gonna say, to be less like about self and to be more about like community, I guess, in the sense like it doesn't always have to be that one person. It doesn't always have to be one person that's at top, one person that's bottom, or everybody else is like, everybody can eat, everybody can, you know, have their own lane, especially now more than ever because of the industry and because there's so many different labels, and you could be your own self-employed kind of label, and you can do everything, and everybody should be able to look at that and be like, you know what, like, good job, rather than no, main utto zyada better banna, main utto karna, ode varga gana banana, I'm gonna kill it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's a lot of that. It's a lot of dog eat. We don't need to do that. Like there's more than enough people in India. Pardon me?
Like the unhealthy competition.
Yeah, we should definitely, because like I see kare and like the kara industry, like American industry, and you'll see like the biggest artists sometimes working with the smallest artists, like that's from their neighborhood, but they do that to put them on to make sure like, yo, go get yours, go put your family on, go feed your family, go do this, go do that. And like you won't see that here. Like you will never see that here, where the biggest artists will work with some Joe Schmo, and if you do, it's like a very like meticulous way, and it's very rarely happens. So it's like there's enough for everybody. There's enough, and especially, you know, the amount of fans we have in Punjab and India and overall in the world, like everybody can eat. There's no reason to be selfish. So I think that I would change that.
That's so nice. I love that.
Yeah.
But the upcoming album is coming out very soon.
I do have an album, and you know, we're gonna tell everybody right here. But yeah, I do have an album coming out very, very soon.
So obviously you can't tell us much about the album yet, but you are working on an album. Is that correct?
I'm not even working. It's done.
It's done?
It's done. I'm just waiting for a few things, and then I'll start announcing. I'm really excited about this album, and if it gets subgenre, this is going to be even more, because it's a lot of English. It's a lot of things that I've kind of always dreamed to do, and I'm working with some very, very special people some people these guys are keep saying. So I'm like special, working with some very, very special people that I'm very happy about, and it happened all very organically, and I'm excited for it.
I'm very, very excited to hear this new album.
Yeah, thank you.
So collaborations, are we going to hear more single collaborations, or are you going to do that in the album? Is the album
Sunny Malton in the building. I just want to say hi to Sunny Malton.
I know Sunny
my good
just
friend.
joined. Hi Sunny, thanks for joining. And I think Jay Static is also watching as well, because I saw.
Oh, is he? Okay,
yeah.
Shout out Jay Static, man. I love that guy.
So
Sorry,
thanks to everybody watching. And yeah, so in terms of collaborations, are we gonna hear singles as well just before your album, or the album is the next thing?
No, I'm very album focused. If you know me, if you're a fan of me, I really like just giving somebody a full body of work and then them choosing what the single is. And like, because there's only 10 songs. So if I give you 2 songs before that, tag it, and then do you really want to listen to the 8? No. Like, I like it when they're completely excited and they have no idea what it is, and they listen to the whole album at one go, and the second time, third time. And then, yeah, I do have singles picked out for after, but I want to give everybody an album as a fresh listen. Because it's been almost a year since I released my last album. Yeah. So I want to give them the 10, 12 songs, whatever it is, as a fresh listen.
That's amazing. So anything else you want to tell, like, your fans, because I know we're running out of time as well, but anything you want to say, like, before I let you go? And of course you're rapping for us as well, man. Remember?
Okay. I think me and Sunny Malton should do a versus battle while he's still here. Malton, whenever you want, let me bother you. Anything I want to say to the fans, I want to say thank you so much to everybody who supports and just like supports and watching and whatever they do. It's like it means a lot. I think we sometimes forget as artists that like your fans are everything, and they're the reasons why we're here. So thank you guys so much for that. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੰਨਾ ਪਿਆਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਲੱਗਦਾ। ਤੇ also ਜਿਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ, ਮੇਰੇ album ਦੇ ਆਏ ਹੋਏ solo albums ਆਏ ਹੋਏ ਆ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਸੁਣ ਲਓ। Bring It Home, New Memories ਤੇ To Whom It May Concern, ਮੇਰੇ 3 album ਆਏ ਹੋਏ ਆ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਉਹ ਸੁਣ ਲਿਓ। ਬਾਕੀ that's it. I don't know. Is there anything else I should say?
No, that's good enough.
Okay, cool. That's fine.
And you just mentioned that you and Sunny should do like a rap battle or something. Do it on your Instagram so that we can all watch it as well.
Yeah, I think the only person I think I could do it with is Sunny Malton. Like, obviously, like, like it'll be a complete wash, but like he's my friend, so might as well. Me and Sunny started this together 10 years ago, so.
Well, that's great. Sunny's watching, so Sunny, that's for you as well.
Yeah, I think that would be so much fun. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's next. I should be like, watching this in like next week.
Well, yeah, we'll see. Maybe we'll do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Fateh. Obviously,
thank you. This was really fun. I just want to say you're a very, very good interviewer. I've done a lot of interviews, and I don't want to say there's anything bad about them, but this has been a high-level interview, and I appreciate you for doing your homework and to ask questions more than just the basic questions. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Fateh. I feel really privileged to have had an interview with you.
You should definitely interview Jay Static and Sunny Malton, and if you need help with that, I'll make sure that happens.
That's on you now.
Because Jay Static is the guy, you know what I mean? He is the guy behind this industry, and he knows a lot more about Punjabi music, and he's literally behind so much stuff. And, I would love for him to...
But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to be texting you and just be like, can you send me up, please, and this and that? Like,
No problem.
Okay, that's great.
I will do that.
Thank you so much, Fateh, once again.
Thank you.
I got to learn so much from you, and I always get to learn a lot from you. Although I didn't really speak to you before, but through your music we learn a lot, and I genuinely mean that. Certainly the new track that you put out with Dr Zeus, that was something else, and that has to be one of my favorites of all time, kind of thing. So thank you for being in the industry, and thank you for putting like really good music out.
Thank you.
It's rare,
appreciate it.
But it's nice when we hear it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I think I needed that reminder. I think sometimes we forget, so I appreciate that there's people still listening. Yeah.
So I'm gonna let you rap, and then you can go.
Okay, what song? I don't know if I remember it though. I'm gonna be very, very honest, but I'll try.
You know what? I did say Fame, but now I want to hear Pindu. I do want to hear Pindu. Pindu is the one.
Let's ask. What do they want to hear?
Yeah. What do you guys want to listen to?
I think it's a lag, so we have to wait for him.
Yeah. No, I think he'll be Pindu.
Okay, I can do Pindu. Okay. Did they say Fame? Are they saying Fame?
They're saying Fame though.
I can't sing Anthem Land. I need Simmer here. Okay. All right, Fame.
Fame.
If I forget, forgive me. I have a lot of songs, okay? It goes, ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ ਮੇਰੇ ਆਸੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦਾ ਭਰੋਸਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਭਾਜੀ ਭਾਜੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਰਦੇ ਨਾ ਕਰੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਉਹ ਧੋਖਾ ਵੀ ਸਾਰੇ ਬਣਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਸਟਾਰ ਇਸ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਲਈ ਨਾ ਤਿਆਰ ਫਰਜ਼ ਕਰੋ ਮੇਰੇ ਪੁਰਾਣੇ ਯਾਰ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਲਈ ਸੀ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਪਿਆਰ ਅੱਜ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਬੋਲਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਨਿਕਲੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਮਤਲਬੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਸਾਰੀ ਦੇ ਦਵਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਵੀ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਕੁਛ ਕੀਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿਨ ਰਾਤ ਦੀ ਮਿਹਨਤ ਉਦੋਂ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਹਿੱਸਾ ਲੱਭਦੇ ਦੁੱਖ ਤਾਂ ਬੜਾ ਲੱਗਾ ਪਰ ਚੰਗਾ ਕੀਤਾ ਰੱਬ ਨੇ ਕਈ ਰਿਸ਼ਤੇਦਾਰਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਦੇ ਪਿਆਰ ਨਾ ਬੁਲਾਇਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਸੱਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਸੱਦੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਫਤਿਹ ਸਾਡਾ ਮੇਰੇ ਤਾਏ ਦੇ ਚਾਚੇ ਦੇ ਮਾਝੇ ਦੇ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਨੇ ਫੋਟੋ ਇਹ ਖਿੱਚਣੀ ਸੀ ਜੇ ਔਖਾ ਵੇਲਾ ਆਇਆ ਮੇਰਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਸ਼ਕਲ ਦਿਸਣੀ ਨਹੀਂ so please leave me alone ਉਹ ਜੋ ਮੇਰੇ ਤੋਂ ਪਰੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਫੈਨ ਹੋਣੀ ਉਹੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਤੋਂ ਸੜੇ I don't remember oh ਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ fake friends ਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ yes man ਬਸ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਕਾਮਯਾਬੀ and that real love the end ਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ I should have thought yeah
oh my god you killed it
I totally don't remember that woo it's hot in here huh
thank you so much once again you're like amazing that's all I want to say lovely talking to you I hope you have a lovely day because you guys still have the rest of the day left so have a lovely day.
Okay, thank you so much. And whenever I drop anything new, we should probably do this again. This is really fun.
Definitely. We're going to be doing this more often. Hopefully you can come down very soon as well.
Yeah, for sure. And shout out, thank you to everybody who tuned in. I really appreciate it. Love you guys.
Thank you so much, Fateh. I will let you go now.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Take care. Bye.